past few years have been frustrating with this. So it is now the next day. I didn't get home till probably around 4 yesterday, and I really wanted to check training plans for my athletes. Always the first priority, and so I just didn't have time to film the rest of the vlog, but you get a special treat because of that. And I'm going to see my friend Devin and her very special family. Well, Devin is amazingly special too, but trust me, you're in for a treat. And the pause of why I just got PRP yesterday will be well worth it, trust me. I'm supposed to take it pretty easy after the PRP for the next couple days. So I got it in, I really got it in my groin, and then I got it pretty much in my butt. So that's fun. So I'm supposed to take it easy for a couple days, but the doctor did say, ooh, this is a challenge. We'll see if I can do this. She did say I could do some upper body stuff, and I realized today I can't do much ab stuff, but I could do a couple of things, so try to do that. And I think this is the hard part for me, because once I saw the MRI results, I just immediately stopped running, but at least I could still do some non-impact stuff. I was skiing and going on the elliptical and stuff. But now I can't even do any of that, at least for a few days. So that's challenging, but I think maybe I can go for maybe a short walk later. We'll see. This is great because you can see how small he is. Aww.
He's like, I'm a baby. I'm a baby.
They're so cute.
Oh, you're the big boy. You're my big boy. Oh, yeah, you're my big boy. Oh, yeah.
What you just saw was Devin, her horse Tater Tot, and her baby miniature donkey Pepperjack. They're just the cutest. All right, I am ready to give you an update on my running, but first, let's go back a little bit. Basically, the Achilles I had surgery on 4 years ago. It still looks really bad. I just got my full MRI results back, and it's not just tendon damage. There's also a lot of other things going on with fluid around the bone and just little bony bumps around the attachment point, and there's a lot, and even some of the tendons around it don't look very good. And so basically I'm out for racing for quite a while now. So yeah, I really needed one last adventure in my heaven on earth in the San Juan Mountains, and I'm really grateful to be here right now and to be able to do this and hike. I'm not actually upset about my Achilles. I'm upset about some of the information I learned yesterday. And the big thing is, nothing typically hurts right now, but I don't feel right. My stride feels off. I feel like both legs are working differently, and I feel that if I add mileage or increase my speed too much, I'm gonna get injured. Well, I'll start with this. Since probably sometime in the spring of 2019, before I ran Zagama, I started to develop this feeling that I could not get my left leg to move how I wanted it to. And I kind of went into Zagama, unfortunately, feeling that way, which I remember being a bummer because I had gotten that trip totally paid for because I had a really good or pretty good 2018, and I felt like I was really starting to get close to my well, I felt like everything I was doing was starting to pay off, and I was starting to compete at a pretty high level. Like I had set the course record at the Rep 50K, and people from all around the world, some of the best mountain runners from all around the world have come to do that race. Um, and yeah, so I started getting this feeling before Zagama. And then during that summer, my Achilles started to hurt pretty bad. So my form felt off, but like all the pain was in my Achilles. So that one video was of me just getting the MRI report and also getting the news that my mom had cancer at the same time my sister had cancer. So this is just giving you background to where I am today, because this is gonna sound unusual when I get to it. So the story after that is I almost had a major surgery on my Achilles, but instead I tried shockwave therapy, did 2 rounds of that. It worked amazingly well. I did take time off running for a couple months as I did it, and I think that was really helpful in getting shockwave to work. But I came back into running without the pain in my Achilles, but I still had this feeling like I couldn't get my legs to work the same way. So I saw a bunch of physical therapists. We treated a lot of things in my left leg. Just a big chain of thought was that I changed my motor patterns because I had been running on a painful Achilles for a long time. Like I had surgery like years and years ago on my Achilles. There's just like a long history with that. And so we thought like I just developed poor motor patterns that I needed to change, but then we were also trying to strengthen my left leg. But then I also looked at for some hip stuff and did strength from like pretty much from like my foot and like techniques stuff from my foot to my hip. And really just was trying to work that entire chain, and every single run, I was constantly focusing on good form and just trying to move correctly. And so much of the stuff I do for strength training and mobility is all just trying to get my legs to work the same way again. So this was 3.5 years of me just trying everything I could, and also just learning everything I could about biomechanics. I took gait certification courses. I took a cool like in-person course on Jay Dechari, I hope I said his name right, who wrote Running Rewired. And I just learned so much. And so I knew how I was supposed to move. I knew the exercises and the drills that were supposed to help me to move correctly. And I just could not do it myself. And I think I handled it well, but at the same time, it was incredibly frustrating to know how you're supposed to move and to know what you're supposed to do and not be able to do it. So leading up to like this past couple of months, thank goodness for Anime Flynn, who is now a dear friend, she was telling me some of her symptoms that she had, and she didn't have pain either, just like some weird symptoms in her leg. Couldn't get like extension through her hip. Her one leg was weaker than the other, and she had a labrum tear, and she had other things, a couple other things going on her hip besides that, but I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm not going to. You can follow her for more information. And finally, it just clicked for me that I needed to get MRI on my hip. So I got the MRI on my hip, and I'll put up the more technical terms. So basically, I have a hip impingement, I have a labral tear, and I think what was really throwing me off was I had a sports hernia, and so things around my pelvis actually detached. I also developed some hamstring tendinopathy. That was just kind of a result of me just not being able to move my hip correctly. So yesterday was the follow-up appointment with the MRI. And the doctor, she did a great job, and her assistant was amazing too. They did a great job of just explaining to me everything in more detail, way more detail than what I just said, and my options and why some options might work and why others could, or like all that kind of stuff. And so basically my options were to try PRP, or I could have said I wanted surgery right away. And if you would have asked me a week ago what I was going to do, I would have said I'm going to have surgery as soon as possible. But then I had a little time to think about it, and I just thought it was maybe worth a shot. So actually what I told the doctor after she explained everything to me, I said, I'm going to tell you my thoughts, let me know if this is sensible. So what I said was that I will try PRP along with targeted physical therapy, but I'm putting a cap on it, 4 weeks, 6 weeks at the very most. If I don't see any improvement in 6 weeks, then I'm having surgery. And the doctor's like, yeah, that's sensible. You know, like you're already strong. You've already been to a lot of physical therapy. And so 6 weeks, like we get it. They understood why I don't want to drag this out for months, especially because it's going to be quite a long recovery. And so if I wait till like spring to get it done, then I could be out for like all summer long and not be able to like run it all in the summer. So at least if I have the surgery in February, at least start running again, like should be able to start running again late spring. I do want to take a moment to thank my sponsors who have stuck with me the past couple of years and who have chosen to stick with me into 2023. I really work with some of the nicest companies out there who truly care about me as a person and athlete, and you just care about everybody they're serving, and truly trying to get out the best products. And yeah, I have the best sponsors, and I can't thank them enough for sticking with me. Things have not been the easiest for Sage and I the past couple years, but even this year. Like I was getting PRP yesterday, Sage was in Denver for his doctor's appointment. He's been in and out of like doctor's appointments for like months now. We're both racking up tons of medical bills at the same time we're paying for rent at this place and mortgage for a condo that burned down last year. We had to make the tough decision to sell just this little piece of property we sold before the fire even happened. And that was a dream for us, and that was deciding to sell the property was a hard moment. Like we worked so hard to buy it, and then just to have to let it go with everything that's coming up. That was challenging. But the past few years between like losing our place, my sister, you can tell it still hurts a little bit. Or I still miss her physical presence. Losing my sister, Amanda, was really hard. It's definitely by far the hardest thing I've ever been through. So losing somebody, losing all your physical stuff, and then also like not being able to move my body correctly. It was just, and then like if you know me, like you know like well like most runners, I love moving my body. I love moving my body outside to explore different places. So not to have it working correctly, and just yeah. So just a few of the things on like Sage's health. It's been a lot, but the past couple of years, I think it's taught me unconditional happiness, and it doesn't mean I don't get sad. I obviously just like I still have a hard time talking about the loss of my sister, especially this time of year around Christmas. She loved Christmas, and I love spending time with her on Christmas. But at the same time, like with my sister Amanda, like I know she wants me to enjoy my life as much as possible. She wants me to enjoy my adventures. She wants me to enjoy the people that are still in my life. And you know, Ray and Pacer, You see Pacer in probably a lot of mine and Sage's videos. They moved to the area recently, and so now I get to see Ray and Pacer all the time. So that's been great. And like with the fire, it was so freeing to lose all our stuff, but still, even when we didn't know like what insurance would cover or not, we're like, we're gonna be okay, because we appreciate our stuff, but it's not what makes us happy. And so I think that's something we knew, but just to have that become, how do I want to say it? Really checking like what we thought we knew and like actually saying that was true, like losing all our stuff and being like, okay, we're gonna be okay. We don't need all these things to be happy. Again, it was super freeing, and then with our both me and Sage, just like as I said, we're racking up a lot of medical bills right now. But even with that, it's like we have so much fun together, and we're making do with like what we can do. So last week we went skiing a ton. I had so much fun skiing with Sage, and we're just making the best of things. And I don't think I needed everything to happen the past couple years for me to really work on unconditional happiness. But it really solidified that learning experience. And as much as some of the things sucked, I'm grateful for it. And I don't want this to sound like toxic positivity, because the message I'm sending is, or I hope to send, is that I feel bad about all the stuff that's happened. And there's times I am in tears about it, or just like sometimes I'm angry or just very upset. And it gets me down. Sometimes it even gets me down for a couple of days. But at the same time, I can feel bad about something, but stay open to how good life is. Like I know beautiful people. God, like there's so many great people in this world. I live in my happy place, like living here. This small mountain town that has like its quirks is just like the best thing ever. Like dry trails, snow in the mountains. I get so excited about life when I just focus on these things that are going well for me. And so, like when I was younger, I had depression, pretty severe. And like when one thing went wrong, my whole life would just seem dark. So to be able to, again, like feel upset about things, but always be open to the beauty and happiness of life, that's been huge for me. And I am so grateful for where I am right now and everything in my life. And so there's no reason to feel bad for me at all, because I am making the best out of this, as Mary Oliver said, this one wild and beautiful life. Okay, I think that is enough for this video. If you're interested, check out higherlearning.com. Lots of some free stuff, and also like training plans for your 2023 goals. I am so happy to have you here. It really means a lot to me. I'm not just saying that. Yeah, I appreciate you for being here. And until next time, keep running wild.